Evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. This is FBN, and you are tuning in on Italk with Pastor Kwame. I am super excited to come to you once again with an interesting topic for today. I appreciate again my producer for a consistency and hard work that she brings to the table every Friday. So please share the video and tell a friend that I talk is happening. Um, we know that the internet world is very saturated with a lot of many things coming at your phone 24/7, different things. But I'm praying that you will find us. I'm praying that you will find us and make this a go-to place, because what we seek to share is critical and important for your well-being. I believe when I did a pitch of my organization, I had to kind of bring to the room about 30 people to pitch my organization to, and all 30 people, the response they gave me was, "We can't find this anywhere." I'm not bragging at all, but I'm talking about how significant the things that we talked about here are. When I started teaching in Richmond, Virginia, there were students who were on government support. They are veterans who have gone to war and come back, and they were dealing with a lot of emotional and mental instability. They have been going to their counselor for about 6 years. When they came to the center, within one lesson, they said that the things we have acquired here, we have not heard that from anywhere. And so I want you to know that it is critical that God helps you connect with us. And I'm going to be diligent and make sure that I bring you something that can be applicable. I don't seek to boast. I don't seek to make myself Mr. Too Know. I don't seek to make myself know it all, but I'll trust God that I'll be able to deliver the message as clear as possible to you. The goal of my show, and I believe the goal of the entire FBN, is to bring healing, is to bring deliverance, is to bring help and hope to humanity, specifically to the body of Christ. And that's why I thank this great couple that God is using for such a time like this. And so if you have come across FBN anywhere, please join and let us reach the world. You are our tribe. We depend on you to spread the word. So when you come across FBN, don't just slide, share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that FBN is on with different programs, blessing many people. So I'm excited about what God is doing. So I don't want to take too much of my time to kind of go off tangent, but I just couldn't overemphasize the critical importance of I talk, and basically the issues on emotional wellness, discipleship, and songwriting, all the things that I seek to bring. But I want to make sure that I set the balance right to bring a lot of healing topics that will be good for us. All right. With that said, I want to check on my student to see who is in class. My producer is in class, and I think other students are coming through as well. I want you to stay put. Today is going to be very informative and very important that you know this. At every point in time, you have to know whether you are well or not. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about, how to calculate your wellness number. Now, what is wellness number, to be precise? Your wellness number has to do with what is going on from your head to your heart. You understand? uh Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy, I'm the only pastor that quote Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy said, sometimes I have 5 to 6 women on top of me, but I still feel lonely. So what I mean is, your wellness is what is happening on the inside, right in your mind, right in your heart. And you have to be able to measure that, because there's no medication that can handle that. Your internal soul is not connect is as well as it's connected with your biology. There are things that run through your soul that no medication can address. That there are things that run through your inner person that no medication can address. That, and those things, it takes two things to get your healing. Truth is how your soul gets healed, and lies is how your soul gets sick. When you eat a lie, you will get sick. When you eat the truth, you will get healed. So when it comes to emotional wellness, your life must be tailored on truth. And when you know the truth, you will be free internally. And so that is what we seek to bring, to make it as practical as possible for you to digest it. So today I'll be dealing with how to know your wellness number at every point in time in your life. How to know that, am I well or not? Because it can be hidden from you. Let me tell you something. I'm still setting up, trying to kind of lay the groundwork for you to consider today. There are 2 ways to know when you are biologically sick. There are 2 ways to know that. The first way is when the symptoms show up. When the symptoms show up, you can tell that you are not doing well. So it helps you to go to the doctor, right? But there's another way that the symptoms will not show. But if you are careful and you go for a checkup, then the doctor will tell you it is so good you came, because a lot of things are going on your inside which is not healthy. I did that. I've not seen the doctor in about 9 years, and then I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, boy, you are so sick, you don't even know. And so he gave me a lot of medication and I threw them away. But the Lord is my strength. I'm taking them. They were just messing up in my body, so I stopped. But they're going to prescribe a better one for me. In the same analogy, when you are emotionally not doing well, sometimes you don't know. And whenever you are not emotionally well, there's no way your character will be consistent. Anybody who is inwardly sick can never have a good character. I remember I said that, and I think my producer husband even put it down, that there's a difference between those who are sick and those who are emotionally broken, right? There's a difference between those who are evil and those who are emotionally broken, because they both act the same, right? So 2 things will happen when you are not emotionally well. There's no way you can behave right. And I can guarantee you, everybody who is not doing well internally is dealing with secret addiction. Pornography is not all about sex. Fornication is not. I don't want to start too deep, but sin, which is going off the tangent, is a product of an inner self which is off. So when you are not well on the inside, then these are the byproduct. You have a secret addiction. You have addicting to things, alcohol, smoking, all of that, because you're trying to balance what is off on your inside. All right. So that's kind of the gist of where we are going today. But the class is going to be very practical, because I'll be showing you how to actually measure it and calculate it. And if you calculate all of it, it will give you a number. And the goal is that by the end of this year, the number will increase, so that you know that you are doing well and you are intentional about it and you are staying healthy, so that you won't start acting strange and you will start battling secret addictions and things you can't tell nobody. All right, so let me check to see if my students are there, and I appreciate all of you who are watching, and please share. FBN, we need you. FBN, I want to come to you and say that we need you. And I hope that my producer will just cut this few portion of what I'm saying and sell it to the world, that we need you. We need you. We are not in competition with anybody. We're not trying to be all that. We need you so that the word can go across the world. This is what I say. There are 7 billion people in this world, and we only know if you put all the TBN presenters together, probably we only know about 4,000 to 5,000 people. All we are saying is that even if 10% of the 4,000 people intentionally push FBN, then the 7 million is where we are going. That's the target. Does it make sense? So please, we are your tribe. We are tribe, and so if FBN succeed, every person who knows every presenter has succeeded, and the world needs to hear that God has given us a great gift to share. All right, that's a quick promo. All right, so let's talk about the game plan for this evening. We are going to go obviously to our real life story of the day, and then I'm going to play some audio comments that came through some of the doctors and some of the analysts. I call them my analysts. They kind of analyze the situation, and then I will bring my take to it. We'll go on a break, and then when we come back, I will get to class and talk about how to calculate your wellness number. So that's kind of the game plan. And then I will try and see if I can get some questions answered, because I've not been doing good with Q&A, answering questions for all of you. So that is the approach we are going to take. I want to comment on the intro song. My producer is amazing. He keep bringing my shame, my guilt, and my mistakes. All my old videos I don't want nobody to watch is what she brings. All right, so because of her, I'm going to clean up my YouTube channel from all the things I don't feel was quality enough. All right, but it was exciting. Yes, I was abusing my kids, and then my heart got touched, and I started playing with them. That's the moral of the story. All right, so without wasting much time at all, I still wanted to give a shout out to my students. All right, so Amma is representing, and who else is representing? Yes, and I don't know if Mina is a producer or a presenter, but God bless you for sticking around with us. Amma is in the house, and I think few people will be coming shortly. But let's roll the clip and listen to the real life story of the day, and I'll come back and play some comments for us to hear. Stay tuned. This is Italk with Pastor Kwame, and we're watching FBN.
You're thinking, but don't worry. She would come, okay? Trust me and trust God. I know my sister. She'll be here, so don't stress. I hope so. Sharon!
Hi, Carol.
Renelle, you see? See what I meant? I know she would come.
You look beautiful, Renelle.
Thanks, Mommy. I'm so sorry for everything. I really am. I'm sorry.
Renelle, are you sure this is what you want to do?
Yes, well, me and Elijah spoke.
Not what Elijah wants. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, Mommy. I want to get married.
Well, I may not agree with your decision, but you're my daughter. I love you, and I'm here for you. I pray that God will bless your marriage.
Thanks, Mommy.
To Renelle
and
Elijah. Cheers.
For Renelle. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great privilege and a wonderful feeling to introduce our next speaker to raise a toast. None other than the mother of the groom, Mrs. Alexander. Put your hands together for Mrs. Alexander, please. Put your hands together.
Thank you so very much, but it's Ms., not Mrs. I'm no longer married.
Sorry about that, ma'am.
To God be the glory. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy to be here this evening. I'm glad that you came to celebrate with my son and I. Elijah is my son, in whom I am well pleased. Yes. Elijah, he's such a respectable young man. Oh, he loves his mother. He loves his mother. Yes. You know, he is also so focused and purpose driven that when Elijah's friends were out there playing and liming, he was always in front of a book. That is why he was able to graduate at the top of his university class because of that. Yeah, Renel, you scored big and good this evening. Renel, I don't know if he told you that he liked his callaloo and he must eat my callaloo. But Elijah, don't forget me. Love your mommy and don't forget the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our glasses. For Elijah, best wishes to you. And Renel.
All right, welcome back. This is getting interesting, and if you have anybody to blame my producer. She fell in love with the series, and so we're going to follow the story and learn alongside, and then see how things unfold. Those of you who couldn't watch the first portion of this story, you can get to FBN page and watch Italk from last week. We started the conversation with our family. All right, so you saw what happened, and we are going to now take comments. So I'm also open to comment. I always want now I'm recruiting my producer's husband, the man of God, to also always be sharing. I'll be reading what he will write here. But let me play some audio comments that I receive from some of my analysts for you to hear how they approach the subject. All right, so I'm going to play one of them for you right now, and I want you to think through and let's follow the thought process of some of these analysts.
All right, so concerning the girl's mom, I think she did what every mother would do, and not just in this situation, but that's what parents do. You love your child, you're gonna tell them as much as possible, try to correct them. But if they still insist on doing what they want to do, you can only love them, because they are your child, and that is what parents do. And so that's what any mother would do. You kick and scream and try to stop your children from making mistakes in court because that's what you see or based on your experience. But when it comes to the bottom line is when they still insist on doing it, you are still going to support them. And that's what the mother did. So that's the right thing to do. And that's what every mother will end up doing at the long run. And concerning the boy's mother, I personally, maybe I'm a mother of boys, so I'm a little bit partial. I honestly do not think she did anything wrong. I think she's just in her feelings because her little boy is getting married and it's personal. It's real. And as a mother of boys, I can see where she's coming from. It may not be too appropriate in quotes again, but I think she's just in her feelings and people express themselves differently. And that is why I personally, from last week, said that this marriage has to be suspended for a bit because if the girl is matured enough, she wouldn't be concerned because she would have known that this is the relationship the boy has with his mom before now, right? So if you're a woman and you're secured in your womanhood and you marry a man whose mother is a little bit too attached, I think it's still challenging, right? Because most people get into marriages and it's like, oh, it's just me and my husband, but you realize that is much more complicated than that. But then it takes somebody who is secured in themselves, and that takes a while to build that security in that relationship with that person, so that the mother's relationship can coexist with the marriage. It definitely can get very complicated and it may take years, for people, everybody to be comfortable and respectful. But also, it takes a matured man to also be able to navigate that relationship with the mom and the wife, and them being able to coexist, and them being able to respect each other's role in his life. So it's difficult. You know, it doesn't mean the marriage will not succeed. It's just another layer on top of it. That is why, to me personally, if you're marrying a boy who is a little bit attached to his mom, or depending on whatever it is, I think those relationships should take time to nurture it and grow the relationship to a point that that relationship between you, the wife, and the mother-in-law is secured, right? I'm not, I don't know if I have the right vocabulary, but what I mean is that you have to make sure that that relationship between you and the mother-in-law is situated, because if not, it's going to creep into the marriage and it's going.
I'm taking the second one also.
The girl's mom spoke with wisdom. She made sure she paid attention to her daughter and asked for her daughter's opinion. And even though she disagreed with her daughter's opinion, because as a mother, she was trying to protect her daughter, she still spoke well. She still blessed her child and made sure that the child understood that she wished her good, even though they were disagreeing. So what we get from the mom, the girl's mom's speech is that you can disagree with someone and still be amiable. You can disagree with someone and still support them. It does not mean that if you disagree, you should hate each other.
All right, thank you so much. So I'll come back and play more, but I will go to the Facebook and see if I have comments also. So for those of you who are not aware of how my panelists or my analysts or my special analysts are analyzing the situation, this is a question I sent them. Question one was, comment on the speech of the girl's mom, and in your opinion, how does one disagree with someone and still support the person at the same time? That was the first comment. The second question was, comment on the speech of the mother of the groom, and what are some of the things a girl can do to successfully marry a boy who is deeply in love with their mom. So that's a question I want to see if I have any producer's husband, the man of God, if I have any comment here. So that was a question. How do you disagree with your child and still support your child at the same time? All right. So I'm waiting for comments on Facebook so that I could read it out loud. Let me see if I have anything. Okay, let me see if I have anything. Man of God, I'm waiting for your comment. So I hope my Facebook page is refreshed very well. But that's the question: how do you disagree with your child and still support your child at the same time? And the question is, how do you marry? I don't know if he's called mommy's boy, because this is more than mommy's boy is somebody who is very attached to the mother. I think you can just put all of them together. But this is not just mommy's boy. This is a person that the only person in his life all growing up is a mother, because you notice that the father is not in the picture. So the two of them have done life up to this point, right? So the mother needs the child needs the mother, and they've done that for God knows how long. For the number of years the boy is maybe 29, 30, we don't know, but that is how the dynamics of the relationship has been. And so they have just been married, indirectly married, right, without the other other portion of marriage, but they have bonded really deep, and they encourage each other. They do life together pretty much, right? And so the mother is about to lose that, and that's what Dr. Gray was saying. And the challenge is that it is a crazy experience, because I have a student at the center who was a grandmother, and the grandmother for 10 years took care of the grandson. And that is the only person the grandmother did life with. When this grandson was taken away from the grandmother, she literally broke down and wanted to commit suicide. Then she saw our program and came to class, and now she's like my mom too, because she just thank God that I saved her life. So when somebody's living your life like that, it's very crazy. And a lot of single mothers don't know how dangerous it is. You understand? It's a very dangerous place to be. But let me see if there's any comment. All right. So, Pastor, what are you saying? How do you disagree with a person and support? Yes, I want Pastor to chime in on the questions. The first question is, how do you disagree with your daughter and so support? And number two, how do you marry a boy who is deeply connected to the mother? All right, those are the questions I want. So let me go back and play more comments, and then I will continue.
Speech from the mother of the groom, I could understand that the mom is speaking from a place of losing her son to another woman. It's a place of fear and it's a place of distress. Was it called for that she call out her daughter and mention that her son loves her callaloo? That was uncalled for. But I believe that the groom's mom just wanted to kind of ascertain her position with the new daughter-in-law to say, my son loves me, my son has always been there for me, so don't come in between me and my son. That was her way of basically warning the girl. And it is understandable. She carried the child for 9 months, reared him to be the man that he is now, looking from the point of view that her marriage did not come to fruition. Like, she's divorced now and she's single, as she's specified. However, she should not come at a daughter-in-law because of her own insecurities and her own inadequacies. But then again, um, as the daughter-in-law, the new daughter-in-law, she married the boy knowing fully well that he is deeply in love with his mom, that he cares for his mom. He's a mama's boy and he will do anything for his mom. But she also kind of has to still respect the mother in law and communicate effectively with her new husband about how they should run and operate their home. She should not have to fight with her mother in law.
All right, thank you. So let me take quick, and I'll come back to play the last comment. One of the students did the shortest comment, and so I'm going to be talking to my panelists, I mean my specialists, so that they will keep their comment to maybe 30 seconds, so that I'll be able to play all of them. All right, let me play one of I think Amenyaku sent the shortest one, which I think she will get an award for it. So let's listen.
As for the girl mother, I think the auntie went to beg her. That's why she came.
All right, that's all she said.
Hello.
And this
Good
is the
evening,
second
Pastor
one.
Kwame. To be very difficult for the lady to please the woman. And guys too, who are so much into their mom, is very difficult to handle. You need to work very hard before you can win their hearts.
All right, thank you so much. So that is what she said. Let me see if there's any comment on Facebook, and then I'll come in a little bit and play one or two from the students. All right, so let me see who is also here. So I see Amma here, and I see Lydia Dale. Lydia Dale, welcome to class. Awesome. And who else? How do you disagree? So I'm still waiting on producer's husband to chime in on the question. All right, so that is where we are at now. I know I'm really kind of always trying to catch up with time. Maybe my show will end up becoming an hour and a half show. I feel probably this is what the daughter's mom saw. That is why she wasn't in support. Okay, that's real talk. Yeah. So the producers are probably saying that these are all some of the things that the mother was trying to avoid. All right. So the producer, okay, I got more content from the producer and the husband. So let me read what the producer says. One, the groom's mother's toast was not the best, very uncalled for. No matter how close she is with the son, that is not the place to fight for place in the marriage. All right, she should rather take the daughter in-law as a daughter. Beautiful. I like that. I like that. That's very good. And what did the pastor say? Pastor said that for this reason, a man shall leave his mom and dad and cleave to his wife, and the two shall be one. Okay, as a husband and wife, as a is the first, then anybody else included. Yeah. So pastor is also saying that the approach is that at this time there's a clear transition. That is where the mother should be able to let go. And it's not easy, even though there's a single mother issue. We are all aware of the fact that sometimes fathers even cry when they are giving their daughter away. So just letting your child go is kind of something that a lot of people cannot handle very, very well. Yes, but leaving and cleaving is kind of what is happening here. So I appreciate that, the input. All right, let me go play one more and I'll come back and give my take, and then we will take a break and go to class. So let me go to one more take, and then we will take my response, and then I believe we will move on.
Who is close to their mother? It's not easy living with such a man, because honestly, if you are such a man, your marriage will always really lose confidentiality. There wouldn't be any confidentiality in your marriage. Everything you discuss with him ends up before the mother. But personally, I would have just created a scenario and asked myself, what if he has not been close to the, or what if he isn't close with the mother, but with other women or with another woman? So you just weighed it. Would you prefer that he be close with other women as a husband or another woman as a husband? Or at least being with the mother?
I'm getting interaction. I apologize for that. But I like what Lady Adele is bringing
Would be
in.
better. So you just psych yourself that at least it's better he lies to be with the mother than to be with other women or another woman. And then you give him the space, but you make sure that you are cautiously watching what he does, and especially what he says when he goes there. He will surely come back with reports from that place, and you will know what is going on there. Then at least you guide him. Those that you don't like, quickly let him know. When you go there, some of these things that you say I don't like, or some of these things you do I don't like. And I think with time, a man who loves a wife will keep correcting himself. But at least sack yourself and give him the space, because those things that were very difficult to come in between.
Very powerful. I appreciate that. Let me take a quick one
week,
and then I'm done.
I think per what we watched last week, Renel's mother made it clear that she doesn't support the marriage. In fact, she doesn't agree with the choice her daughter has made. But today or this week, she's made it clear that she may not support it. But it looks like where she's gotten to, her hands are tied. She has no choice than to give the daughter the support she needs, since she's realized that the daughter is determined to get into this marriage, because at least she has asked a lot of questions. She has tried her best convincing her not to. But the daughter is so determined to get into this marriage that today, finally, she's getting into the marriage.
Thank you all so much. All right, let me go to Facebook and make sure that I don't have any extra comments to read. So let me chime in now. So I'm about to talk about this. I appreciate every contribution, and I want to say this: that is how you solve life problems. Surround yourself with a group of people that can reason together and bring their side of analyzing. What I do is not necessarily analyze the situation, but kind of pull principles out and kind of hammer on that, because what I bring, it's not just the story, but I bring a principle so that in any other scenario, you begin to use that law or that principle to guide you. You understand that? So that's kind of my job. But all the other commentary that comes in is to kind of answer the situation on the table and also give you wisdom. So always surround yourself with wise people and you make wise decisions. All right. So what's funny here, producer? All right. All right. So the comments were amazing. I hope you listen. And this show always stays on the network. So anytime you want to play back to enjoy it, take your time and enjoy it. All right. So I won't take too much time, but the first thing I want to address definitely is a speech of the mother of the bride. The speech of the mother of the bride. And one of the things I want to address is the steps in protecting your children. The steps in protecting your children. There are two pathways that relationship with your children will go. There is one where the child is submissive, and so the child does everything the parents say, even if the child doesn't like it. And children like that, they live a very miserable life on the inside, but the parents don't know, because they are not the type A kind of children. So the choice of everything is because the parents said so, and so their life is molded that way. So their voice is missing. Their parents love them, they care for them, but their voice is missing. There's another type where the child's voice comes up, and sometimes there's a conflict, and that is what we are seeing here, right? And there's also a time where the father and the parent and the child are all on the same wavelength. It also happens that way. But the principle I'm teaching today, based on what is happening between the bride and the mother, is that the first step is a step of disagreement. And the mother did very well and articulated her point very clear why she disagrees. But the danger from this step, and I see a lot of women go there, from the disagreement, they move to witchcraft. I have had mothers call me, Pastor, pray for my son so that God will blind my son from looking at the girl again. You have entered into witchcraft. As soon as you start from disagreement, please don't step into witchcraft. Don't step into manipulating. Go taking your son's t-shirt to your pastor. Pastor, this is my son's t-shirt. Speak over it so that she will not follow that girl anymore, because the girl that is witchcraft. So I've seen a lot of mothers go there. As soon as the disagreement comes in, the next step is not witchcraft. No manipulation. No praying that the girl will die. None of that. That is witchcraft. You don't go there. All right. That's not where you go. The place Renee's mom went is good, but that is not kind of how you land there. From disagreement, you move to agreement and double reassurance. Double reassurance. Double reassurance means that after you come to a place where you take a deep breath and says that now I have to understand that I don't have autonomy over who you are, because on judgment day, they won't reference your mother. You will start one by one. So you are accountable and fully responsible for your action. As a mother, the Bible says, if I say to the man that you will die and you don't prophesy, their blood I ask from you. So when the mother articulates her point very clearly, the mother has done the job. Before God, the mother is cool. Now, the next level the mother must go is now to say that I do not want to pretend that I agree with this, but your well-being continues to be my responsibility. And that's why I give you my blessings. And not only that, double reassurance by saying that now my issue, my concern, we have put that in the garbage. You and I are on the same page. You have to reassure your child over and over so that the child will be comfortable deeply enough that my mother has actually come on my side. Because just saying that I bless you, still your daughter, when she's dying, will not call you, because she just realized that you only kind of obliged to the situation. But I want you to double assure, overemphasize the fact that we are in your side together. Now my option is thrown to the garbage. You and I are on the same place, so that when you are dying in the marriage, you can call me faster. Because when you do like that and it's not double assured, when they go in and they are dying, they won't call you, because they know that you say, I told you so. right? So the double assurance is what I want to hammer on. Whenever, it can be a friendship, it can be a mother-daughter, but anytime we choose one, and it's what principle you should use everywhere in teamwork. We have different ideas. We didn't choose yours. After we choose the one we choose, make sure that you reassure, double reassurance that I am for this one. And I refuse to say that it will fail for me to be happy. That is going to the witchcraft side also. Do you understand that? So double reassurance is what I want to hammer on. So anytime is you were giving advice, anytime you were trying to advise your own child and it doesn't go the way you as the elder person want, I want you to know that you can save the child's life by double reassuring the child that indeed and in fact, going forward, now your choice is my choice. So please don't hesitate to ask for my support at every step of the way. Pretend that I wasn't the one that was even disagreeing with you. That reassurance is very necessary. Else you go pick up the dead body of your child, because you know definitely. It's not like I said, the prodigal father will not say, you go, and you don't act like the elder brother, where after he leaves, you become so bitter that when he comes back, you don't want them back. But you have to be like the father, where you are saying that I don't even remember you choosing the wrong answer. I still love you, and any day, anytime. That's what I want to hammer on. It's very important, else you will not. You'll be tempted to be in witchcraft, where you want to manipulate. You are praying that the marriage dies so that you say, I told you so. That is a dangerous place to be. All right. Let me see if I have any comment, and then I will tackle on the other side. Let me see. Let me check to see if I got anything from Armor. I didn't recall receiving a comment from Armor before I come back and comment on no, I don't think I received anything from her. Right. I didn't get no comment from her. All right. So that is the principle I want to hammer on: double reassurance whenever there was a disagreement and then agreement. All right. So that the person will know that you are not only saying from your mouth, but your heart is also saying it. You understand? Because sometimes it's just a normal speech a person will say, even though their heart is still not with it. All right. Now, addressing the side of the speech of the mother-in-law, the guy's mother, right? So, like I said earlier on, I like Adele's approach very much, because she was saying that it could get worse. Do you understand? And I began by telling you that these are symptoms of life that is making do with what you have. Nobody said that the groom's father should leave the marriage. We all come now with all the pieces. Do you understand? So sometimes you find somebody who is doing life with the mother, like this situation. So we don't want to waste our time talking about the ideal situation. But I know that if things were all in place, then all of these consequences will not come up. But the reason why all of these fruits are coming out is because the tree is having not a complete kind of, all the things are not in place. That's right. So in this situation, understanding the fact that that is the type of man I'm kind of marrying is the awareness. Do you understand that? That's the awareness. I want to say that the principle after this show, after this series, I'll be doing the 10 laws of marriage. It's going to be amazing. I'll be doing the 10 laws of marriage. All right. So when it comes to marriage, you have to understand that marriage is built, it's not found. Do you understand? So when you have a mommy's boy as a raw material, you still can build something with it. You understand? Don't expect to enter into marriage to find it. I found a good marriage. You know, you built a good marriage. You understand? Right? So with that said, the only thing you must understand is the awareness of the raw materials you have. But a lot of people can't really tell even what a raw material looks like because of lack of maturity. So they go in, they hurt themselves so much. But there is nothing wrong with marrying a mommy's boy. It's how you marry a mommy's boy is the class you need to take so that you can build something solid, because you are coming as a mommy's girl, just that you and your mommy were fighting. They were also, the girl was from a broken home, as you can tell, right? And so that is broken plus broken, it goes to broken. So I just want to set that in place. So the principle I want to hammer on is the fact that the mother is going to be part of the challenge in that marriage. And if you engage the right approach, which is making sure that you are living by some of the laws I've talked about and all of the approach that makes peace, like don't go and fight. The goal is to make sure that you appreciate the mother who has taken care of a boy that you have married, right? And the second goal is that to let the boy understand that you know where he is coming from, and he should also know where you are coming from. One of the things I appreciate about married couple that learn together is that if the two of them sit together to build their marriage, they must know where their marriage is at and where their marriage should be. When people come to my class at the center, that's what I tell you. I tell you that what I'm teaching you is just for you to know where you are and where you need to go. If you're going to go like a snail, crawl 1 centimeter a month to get there, is fine. The only thing you know that this is where I am at and this is the healthy place I need to be. So taking the inventory of the situation, there's a mother who has been, sometimes even there's a soul tie. It's not sexually, but there's a deeper bond between the mother and the son, and all of that are there. But that is the diagnosis, and how do we build a solid marriage based on what we have. I'm also coming from a side where my father was not in a picture, so there are things that I cannot be very easy to deal with. But that reality, ladies and gentlemen, is the analysis of the kind of marriage you are going to build. You understand? Love will choose for you, but work will produce for you. Love will choose for you, but work will produce for you. So once you fall, that's why when you fall in love, there isn't much analysis going on. The heart loves what the heart loves. So when you fall in love, which is okay, then you look at what you are falling in love with, and you use that as my starting point, and you engage the principles, engage the practices, engage the things that is required to turn this into a beautiful union. And so marriage is built, it's not found. So no matter, so if you understand that, so here's the thing. So unfortunately, divorce happen when either the two people are raw materials that nobody, or one of them is not willing to do the work, and the other one is only doing the work. When that happens, then unfortunately they are not going anywhere. And if you work with the raw materials and there's no cooperation, there's no kind of synergy, then you're going to burn out. Like I was saying, you're going to burn out. And that is where after 30 years the marriage has not happened, and you see people walk out after 40 years. Say, why are you divorcing? He says, we still couldn't get the raw materials to work. And so those are the things I will touch on, but that's the reality. I am happy that the boy's mother did the wrong thing that he did, that she did, so that right away, no surprises. You understand? When I was analyzing the story, as soon as it came on, I said, ooh, let me write that down. That is something they need to address right there. You understand? So when you find what is wrong with your partner, and understand that there's something also wrong with you. I really apologize for this. I understand that there's something also wrong with you. So it is very important that you work together. So quickly, two principles that are in play here: double assurance and taking inventory of what you are falling in love with, and understand that there's nothing wrong with falling in love, but now for me to get the marriage I want, I have to actually labor to receive it. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'll read some comments, and then we will go to class and spend some time knowing how to calculate your wellness number, which I have actually exhausted all my time. I will touch on it a little bit. All right. See you shortly. Is my producer there? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Appreciate the producer for being on time. All right. So let me do a quick kind of teaser of the emotional wellness calculation, and then I will wrap it up, and then we will pick up from where we left off today when we come back next week. All right. So thank you for staying tuned with me. Let me see if there's any comment for me to for some reason, I don't know if my Facebook feed is not picking the most current one, but because it's stuck on the last couple of minutes that I made a comment. All right. So what is emotional wellness number? When we come back next week, I will try my best and start even that. Maybe we won't go through our story because the story is very juicy, so it kind of takes all our time. What we are going to talk about emotional wellness is the fact that or the wellness number is the fact that there are 4 areas of your life that kind of needs to be looked at for us to see those 4 areas. And when all those 4 areas are analyzed, we can tell that what is going on your inside is well, right? There are 4 areas which we will introduce next week. So in knowing your wellness number, you look at area 1, and I'll show you how to kind of measure it. So we'll use a scale of 1 to 10. When we look at the first area, I'll explain what the area of your life is. And I'll ask you, so based on what I've explained, give yourself a number. If you think you are doing well in this area, give yourself a 5, 6, 7, 8. If you think you're not doing well in this area, give yourself a 2, right? And then we'll touch that. We'll go to area number 2, and I'll explain all of that area. And I say, if you think you are doing well, give yourself a bigger number. If you think this area you're not doing well at all, give yourself a smaller number. And we go to area number 3 and area 4. And after we go to all those areas, then you add that number together. And the bigger the number, the more you're doing well. So basically, your wellness number is over 40, right? I came up with that system. It's nowhere in a book, but I wanted my students to kind of have something they can measure so that they can work with it. So I put those numbers there. In the notes is just explaining the different areas, but I try to make it quantifiable so that you can be able to measure, so that every time you go on a prayer retreat, every time you go on a fast, you can look at yourself. Because one of the things we don't do is we don't let God restore our soul, right? David said, and he restored my soul. When we go before God, inner healing must take place in prayer also. You understand? But if that's going to happen, then you have to be aware of the areas you want the Holy Spirit to minister to you. Prayer is not just God, give me a husband, God, give me a wife, God, give me a car. Not at all. Prayer is God, work in me something that will bring the Jesus out of me. You understand? And your emotional wellness, your inner wellness is an important prayer topic. It's more important than your outfit. It's more important than your income. Your inner wellness is more important than your income. You understand? I saw a TikTok that blew my mind. A guy said, when I came to America, I had nothing. I had nothing. So when somebody picks me up from church to the house and they give me food, I eat with two hands because I was always hungry. And he said, but 20 years later, now I have everything. I have everything. I have my own house. I have my car. I have food in the pantry. I have food in the fridge. But I wish I had the same appetite when I had nothing. Because I open the fridge and I can't eat anything because I don't have no appetite. You understand? So that means that your inside, what is happening on the inside of you, is more important than what you acquire on the outside. Because if you don't take good care of your inside, you have everything on the outside and you still be miserable. Because the real you is the you inside the body we see. And so make a date with us next week and let's talk about how to know your wellness number. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. I hope let's see. I think it has updated a little bit. Okay. Yes, now I think it's updated. I agree. The groom and the bride should find it. Okay, what's the producer? It says the groom and the bride should find her a partner. All right. The groom's mom should learn to cope and not to fight. Okay. Adele is commenting. Witchcraft power is, I'm telling you, manipulation of higher order. Mothers, oh God have mercy. Don't play God in anybody's life, else you'll be a witch. Anytime you're trying to control the outcome of somebody's decision, that is a witchcraft. You are trying to play God, and that is witchcraft. Don't do that. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I don't have time to do questions. My spiritual father kept calling because we have a crusade tomorrow. So he was calling to get update because I'm the worship director for the crusade. So that's why he was calling. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to my wife who is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. And because of that, my weekend is booked and I appreciate all of you. Let me pray before I go. Father, we pray in the name of Jesus that you be our guide, you be our help, you be our support, you be our sustainer in everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Have an awesome weekend. Go to church and God bless you.
Slow down. Yeah. Truly bound to talk, y'all. God is faithful, you heard? Don't you ever rush in life. Faithfully see who has called you. 1,000 years he said they forgot. You would never end in shame. Don't you ever rush in life. Faithfully see who has called you. 1,000 years he said they forgot. Don't rush. You will never end in shame. Slow down. Some say God is slow to his promises. Some say God takes too long to fulfill his word. Now that no faithfully see who has called ya. He makes all things beautiful in his time. In his time. He makes all